Well, can Ubisoft get any good news nowadays? Because they have been the laughingstock of the industry for the last couple of months. They delayed Assassin's Creed Shadows twice. They had that god-awful Star Wars Outlaws with a terrible, hideous female protagonist, and that game was buggy, glitchy, and unplayable. Skull and Bones was a huge failure, and they unironically called it the quadruple-A game. I can't believe they actually said that, but they said it. And they have done nothing good with the Far Cry series since Far Cry 4. And now they're having even more layoffs. You just love to see it. And I have an article to look at from Insider Gaming. The headline says, Ubisoft shuts down another studio, 185 jobs lost, 185. That's a lot of jobs. Have you tried making good games? Because you haven't done that in a long time. You used to have a lot of good games. The older Assassin's Creed games were great. Far Cry games were great. 3 and 4 are still the best ones. 5 was terrible. 6 was terrible. You don't know what you want to do with that franchise anymore. You had Star Wars Outlaws that just came out and just was a huge flop because you couldn't even make money with Star Wars. And to be fair, Disney can't even make money with Star Wars. But that's because they go out of their way to disrespect what came before. But you can still make money with Star Wars if you just give the fans what the fans want. And nobody wanted to play an ugly, lame, boring, stale, gender swap of Han Solo. Why don't you just make a Han Solo game? Why do you have to make a female character based off of him instead of just using him to make a game? That would have got more people interested. But you didn't do that. You couldn't help yourselves. And that game was a failure. And I almost forgot about X Defiant, the game that you called the Card Killer. I don't know if it was them specifically or the community around that game that said that, but that was a term that was unironically used. And now that game is dead. You have literally nothing. Your stock price has been falling for a while, and now you're having more layoffs. I can't say I'm surprised, but let's continue reading the article. Ubisoft is closing down another studio and downsizing multiple others as part of its continuing restructurings. The company is closing down its Leamington-based studio in the United Kingdom, while it reduces headcount at locations that I can't even pronounce these UK names, so I'm not even going to try. Newcastle, Stockholm, maybe, who cares, continue. As part of our ongoing efforts to prioritize projects and reduce costs that ensure long-term stability at Ubisoft, we have announced targeted restructurings at Ubisoft UK, I don't know how to pronounce these fucking names, God. Ubisoft Stockholm and Ubisoft Reflections, and the permanent closure of a Ubisoft Leamington site, a Ubisoft spokesperson told Eurogamer. Unfortunately, this should impact 185 employees overall. We are deeply grateful for their contributions and are committed to supporting them through this transition. Of the 185 jobs lost, 100 came from the UK studios, Leamington, and Reflections, while Leamington closes entirely. The latest rounds of layoffs put 2025's count well over 500 known jobs lost, with estimates having it over 650. In 2024, the games industry saw 16,000 plus people lose their job. The Leamington studio closure becomes the third studio in the last 5 months to be closed by Ubisoft. When the company decided to cancel X Defiant last fall, it announced that it will be closing its offices in San Francisco and Osaka. Ubisoft is currently in the middle of its exploring company's options in order to turn things around for a company whose value has continued to fall in recent years. These options also include a potential deal with Chinese company Tencent, where both companies are in talks for a new venture centered around Ubisoft's current assets. And that is it. Is anybody surprised whatsoever? Who even gives a damn about Ubisoft? I haven't bought a Ubisoft game in forever. The last one I believe I bought was Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and that wasn't even that great. It was basic and bloated and boring. The environments were great, but the game itself was pretty basic, like every other Ubisoft game. And it's a good thing that I bought it late because I did not get any game-breaking bugs. But for the people who bought Star Wars Outlaws, you must be pissed, which kind of confuses me because I am confused that this company did not go out of business anytime before, because they have been selling you garbage for the last decade. Garbage after garbage after garbage after garbage. Busted, broken games that do not fucking work. Why do people keep buying this? This whole closure of all of these different studios around Ubisoft, this should have happened a decade ago. But people love buying shit that do not work. Stop buying fucking garbage! If you keep buying garbage, they're gonna keep selling you garbage. Which means you can't complain by now. Because all the people that buy Ubisoft games, you know what their formula is. You know that they are boring, lame, they make the same garbage over and over and over again, and you'll be lucky if the game you paid $70 for even works. So stop fucking buying garbage! And this article didn't even mention which games this team worked on. I had to go online to find a tweet that says it. And according to this tweet, it says this team worked on Star Wars Outlaws, Skull and Bones, and Avatar Frontiers on Pandora, which I totally forgot that game even existed. It was basically a clone of Far Cry. Is that why we didn't get a spin-off to Far Cry 6? Because 4 and 5 got spin-offs. We got 4, then we got Far Cry Primal, then we got 5, then we got New Dawn. We didn't get a spin-off to 6 because you wanted to take the Avatar franchise and turn that into Far Cry because reasons I don't understand. I think when people saw the Avatar IP being used by Ubisoft, they thought it was going to be like open world third-person action where you play as these blue people and trying to kill the military guys. I don't know why you didn't do something like that. You just made a clone of Far Cry using the Avatar IP. I don't understand. Nobody understands, and that's why you keep having layoffs, because you keep making shit that nobody wants. So I'm not surprised that you are firing 185 people. And this team worked on 3 of your biggest failures of the last year? Of course they should be fired. They can't make a good game. So it's a good thing that you are laying off the trash. I doubt you have the competency to know what makes a good game and know who to hire. Because people like you never learn your lesson. You big corporations do not understand the industry that you invest in. You just only see money, but you don't see how to get the money. So oh well for Ubisoft. I'm only hoping for the worst for this company. They are hoping that Assassin's Creed Shadows succeeds. And it will do decently well with normies, but it's not going to be this huge blockbuster that they want. We'll just have to wait and see. So I don't have much else to say. I don't want to keep repeating myself. So Ubisoft, go fuck yourself.